Hello everybody, and welcome back to Honkai Impact 3rd. So, first and foremost, I have 2 dorm supply tickets. We have 2 pulls until our next S rank. Which means it's time for me to get a new S rank, or hopefully new. Who do we got? 90% chance to be new, so like probably. Who do we got? Hey, let's go! Let's go, we got Senti! Heck yeah! Heck yes. Anything here? Ooh, nice. Okay. Now then, let us get back into Elysian realm, shall we? Wait, hang on. Okay. So, we're gonna... That's what I meant to do. We are gonna just get through as much of this story as we can here. I've got 5 of these right now. So, let's just continue onward. As much of it as we can, without having to do excess stuff, that is. Whatever. No, wait, no, not Sue. Eden. No, that's Bill. Eden. I've got to get more elves.
どうしても今楽園に入りたいの？今はちょっと仲がめちゃくちゃなのよ。
あ、エリの姉ちゃん。今からメイの姉ちゃんをビルビーの姉ちゃんのところに案内しようとしてるんだ。わ
あ、もう三角関係に発展したの？メイったらますます大胆になったのね。私も身の安全に気をつけた方がいいかしら。
I will take this one. So we're headed to meet Lee, huh? She's the one we haven't touched at this point. I don't remember. This sucks. Eden.
こういった現象が現れる理由は知ってる？
もちろん。全然知らないよ。そういう天地をも揺るがすような事件なんてどう見ても私とは無関係だもん。他人の注意を引かないこと、それが黄昏の街で生きるための心得。言いふらしちゃダメだよ。他の人なら有料なんだから。かつての知恵と芸術は
Okay, yeah. Eden, skip Bill. Oh, I always forget the next order, but like, I think it goes Kalpus, Sue, Sakura, Cosma. Yeah, that sounds right. Not that it really matters. The exact order. I'm just trying to remember everybody. Number 10 would be Mobius, and yeah, okay, so yeah, Bill B is the only flame chaser we have yet to meet. Yeah, definitely. Round out the group.
あなたも私との
I'll take this one.
メイの姉ちゃん、聞こえた？
ええ。これは
おや、私たちのお客さんがようやく入場したみたいだね。ショーにとって肩書きは無意味だけど、少しだけ自己紹介させてほしい。君にサプライズを用意したんだ。ショーが始まる前に好きなものを選んでいいよ。
どういうことなの、パルド？
これはビルビーの姉ちゃんの声、早すぎるよ。
つまり私たちはもうそのマジックショーとやらに入ってるってこと？
成人の道はなし。
行きましょう。意図が分かりやすいわね。入っても大丈夫なのよね、ガイドさん。
多分おそらく、もしかしたらそうかもしれない。
分かったわ。
せっかくの
Part of Ellis, you are a terrible guide.
伝線雷鳴の時。
この情熱的なお客さんは自らステージに上がることを選んだ。ではこの盛大な公演に共に参加してもらおう。
どういうこと？
ま
I'm
ず
a
い。
homo.
私も役者にされたみたい。こういうアクシデントには追加料金が必要だよ。
それよりまずは問題を解決しましょう。
さあ、照明の位置についてもらおうかな。
You've been homified.
こういう一番簡単なやり方でみんなに教えよう。誰がこの瞬間の主役なのかを。
Do I... Huh? What am I supposed to do? Light up the flowers in the shown order. Okay. It was like that, right?
で
Yes.
は次はもっと難しいものに挑戦しよう。
This one. Oh. Ah! They're going all over the place. Okay, it was this one. Then this. Here. And here.
おや、難易度を簡単にしすぎちゃったのかな。大丈夫。最後にもう一度挑戦してみよう。
ハルド、私たちの話は彼女に聞こえていたりするの？
問題ないと思う。でもビルビーの姉ちゃんは他の人の言うことを気にしたりしないよ。
Oh, I thought it was gonna make a square. Very interesting shape you've made here, Bill.
っと元に戻った。ビルビーの姉ちゃんは相変わらずだな。
ショーはもう終わったの？
メイの姉ちゃん私の経験からすると多分始まったばかりだよ。
明かりがついた。今正式にショーが始まるよ。新しいショーだから第1幕のウォーミングアップは安全で簡単なものにしておいたよ。でもショーの素晴らしさは変わらない。
ほらメイの姉ちゃん、ヘビの姉ちゃんがたくさん飛んでるって嘘じゃなかったでしょ。
ナイフを箱に刺すという脱出マジックなんてきっと皆さんも飽きてるでしょ。今日は古いものはなしにしよう。目隠しの箱を使わずみんなの注目の中ゆっくり登るこの新星には鋭いナイフから逃げてもらおう。
何？
うわー、待ってよメイの姉ちゃ
Lily has truly chosen violence today. Why? What did I ever do to her? Why have you chosen violence on this day, Lily? I'm just an innocent little character. Okay, no thanks. They hurt people.
何このマジックショーは。パルド、本当に彼女には悪意がないと思ってるの？
That's what I'm
ビルビーの姉ちゃ
ん。
んはそういう人だから。むしろ昔と比べると今回は普通だった気がする。
行動開始。行きましょう。
皆さん、最も期待できる事態になってしまったよ。なんとこの新星は台本の存在が気に食わないようだ。
Did I?
第2幕、引き続き代表的なマジックを楽しもう。3枚のカードからクイーンを探せ。もちろんこのステージにおいて普通のカードにはなかなか気づけない。そうでしょ。
おー、メイの姉ちゃん、この感覚で間違いないよ。
そう言われるとますます厄介なことになった気がするわ。
Interact with raised trapdoors and select a block.
カードはこんな規模になったんだね。ではバックステージにいるクイーン、みんなに挨拶してあげて。
パルド、下がってて。
とっくに隠れてるから安心して、メイの姉ち
Maybe I should stop worrying about that
吠えなさい。
and
栗から。
just attacks and dies fast.
の二人はあなたのために捧げるわ。
出てきていいわよパルド。もう解決したから。彼女のショーはいつもこんなに長いの？
毎回違うから私もよくわからないな。
Can't say I'm a big fan of this show, Bill.
メイの姉ちゃん。
演出とやらはまだ終わってないの？これは一体。
おや、素晴らしい。実に素晴らしい。ようこそ遠くから来たお客さん。このマジックショーは満喫できたかな。パルド、どうしてここに？君には招待状出してないはずだけど。
ビルビーの姉ちゃんのお客さんに付き合ってただけだよ。クラインは忙しくて招待状を渡す暇もなかったから私が手伝ってあげてるの。
パルド、これは一体。
これは失礼。本当のお客さんを忘れてしまったね。もう一度自己紹介をさせてもらうよ。黄昏起源の最も偉大な魔術師、あらゆる脱出マジックの創造者、ビルビー。ようこそ私の魔術劇場へ。
Dusk Era? Is that a new term? I don't think I've heard it before.
ビルビーの姉ちゃん、刻印だよ。
そうせかさないで、台本通りにしないと。ここで私は螺旋の命、それからあらゆる奇跡を管理してるんだ。
素晴らしいわ。それでショーは終わり？
まだ最後の演目が残ってるけど、もう少し後にしても構わない。ハルド、少し離れてくれないかな。私は貴重品なんて持ってないよ。
チェ。
お客さんは少し緊張してるようだね。大丈夫。初めて会った人たちは大体そういう反応なんだ。人は叫び声を上げる前にしばらく沈黙する。この現象に気づく人は少ないから。そして私はみんなも知ってるように一応叫び声を生み出すことに関してはプロだから。
そのことならもう聞いてるわ、ビルビー。実際前からあなたに会いたいと思ってたから。
おや、それは奇遇だね。ライデン・メイさん、私も君に会いたいと思ってた。二人の英傑を倒した人。君がここを出たと聞いてすごいお客さんを逃したと思ったよ。
倒したわけじゃ。
ビルビーの姉ちゃんは相変わらず人を見る目があるね。メイの姉ちゃんは強いし騙されやすいし、まさに最高のカモだよ。
それでこの全ては私のために用意したの？楽園の乱れが発生した時からその。
もちろん君のために用意したんだよ。律者に見合うのは乱れ？それは何？台本にそんなものはあったかな？
楽園エリアのレイアウトに変更があった。それはある英傑のマジックによるものだと。そうし
違う違う。あれは私とは何の関係もない。いや、私のせいというのも間違いじゃないかな。まあいいや、それは要点じゃない。とにかくああいう現象はショーではなく一種の武器だ。 何らかのテストを行っているのかもしれない。
武器？
そう、楽園特用型対ケビン武装タイプ92。相手が別のエリアに移動する時間を遅らせることができる。強運の持ち主の場合は話が別だけど。
つまりあなたはエリアの変動をコントロールできるわけね。
そういうことかな。でもその並びは完全にランダムで、だからもし相手が強運の持ち主だったらこの装置は何の役にも立たないってわけ。
ならランダムの範囲は本来なら出現しないはずのエリアも含まれていたりするの。前回そういう装置が稼働した時、私の仲間が今まで出現したことのない空間に入ってしまったの。そして今私たちのいる場所もこれまで入ったことがなかったわ。
I've certainly seen this area before outside of the game in the oh god, I'm blanking. The Dreamy Euphony concert.
どうだろうね。5万年も経ってるし廃棄になったエリアが数えきれないよ。装置の複雑性を上げるためにそれもコアプログラムに組み込まれているかもしれない。
I never noticed how many of these little pink accents Bill has on her design. Like, I knew they were in her eyes, but I never noticed they were like here and here and here and here.
なるほど。あなたは私の力にはなれないみたいね。でもまだ運を試すことができるわ。パルド、行きましょう。
待って、君は何かを忘れてない？大鳥はまだ始まってないよ。
申し訳ないけど時間はないわ。
いやいや、君は興味を持つはずだよ。私から見てこういう形式は古すぎると思うけど仕方がない。これも一応私の責任だから。さあレディー
What the
ス。
heck happened?
ああ、ジェントルマンはいないようだね。では目を大きく開いて、ショーのクライマックスがもうすぐ始まるよ。意義の反転、常識の転覆、真実で虚妄を作り未知で奇跡を生み出す。幕は上がった。聞いて、噛み合う歯車の喝采を見て、矛盾だらけの螺旋を。今回のショーの特別プレゼントだと思っておいて。お客さんをきちんともてなすのが私のやり方だから。そうだ、同行者が1人増えても君は気にしないよね。こういった現象は厳密に言うと私がやらかしたわけではないけど、
It's
一応
storming. I
長い
apologize
付き合い
if
だから
someone picks it up
他
at
の
all.
人たちよりも詳しいんだ。
ほほん。すでに経験豊富なガイドさんがついてるから、ミルビーの姉ちゃんの手を借りなくても大丈夫だよ。
Oh, my mic was turned down quieter than usual. I apologize if that was quiet.
お、なるほど。パルド、君は相変わらず抜け目がない。招待状を売ってついでに警備料金をもらう打算なんだ。
ほほん。声のボリュームを落として。メイの姉ちゃんも聞いてるから。
待って、パルド。またどうして？ビルビーの刻印のせいなの？それは変えられない。あなただったのね。まだその日じゃないはず。あなたは一体。
嵐の訪れをあなたより一日も早く目にした。運命は 我々を洪水に巻き込む。もがけばもがくほどより深く溺れるだけ。
天の道は利して害せず、聖人の道はなして争わず。
新しい手がかりがない。アポニアはなぜあんなことを予見したのかしら。指針の書へと向かう計画にも進展がないし。
メイの姉ちゃん、早く。またいいものを仕入れたんだ。珍しい品物ばかりだよ。
10日。少なくともその意味をはっきりさせないと。
メイの姉ちゃん、おーい。
もしくはその前に指針の書に行く方法を見つけないと。
メイの姉ちゃ
パルト、ごめんなさい。私に何か用事でも？
ん、見ればわかるよ。カンちゃん、早く。メイの姉ちゃんに例の品を出して。あは、私が持ってたんだっけ。私ってば。
In Pardo's hand was an unusually ancient-looking scroll, its wax seal already broken. May unraveled the scroll, revealing strange contents inside.
今世紀最大のマジックショー、指針の書にて開催。ビルビー？
メイの姉ちゃんはこれのことを考えてたんだよね。成功した商人の私がお客さんの需要を読めないわけないじゃない。ずっとあそこに行きたかったんだよね。ミルビーの姉ちゃんの招待状があれば何の問題もないよ。これはかなり貴重で、私だってめったにもらえないんだから。他の人だったら何があっても追加料金を取らないと。
言い直すかと思ったけど違うみたいね。マジックショー、ビルビー。私の推測が正しければ彼女はおそらく。
メイの姉ちゃんも覚えてるでしょ。この間楽園がめちゃくちゃになっちゃったこと。今思い返せばあれはマジックショーの一部だと思うんだ。あそこから戻ってきたばかりなんだけど、もうめちゃくちゃで、何人ものヘビの姉ちゃんが空を飛んでたよ。だからメイの姉ちゃんの安全のために、賢くて手際のいいガイドさんをもう一度紹介するね。彼女は楽園に慣れてて、しかも適正価格なんだよ。
わかったわ。自己紹介はいいから。なる。ファルドのお目当ては私の財布でしょ。
そんなこと言わないでよ、メイの姉ちゃん。みんな私のことを正義のために金を惜しむやつだって言ってるんだよ。
正義のためならお金を出すことすら惜しまないって言いたいのはわかるけど、彼らの言う通りね。いいでしょう。確かにガイドさんが必要だわ。支払い方法は？
いいのいいの。前回と同じようにもう用意してあるんだ。
Pardo glances around the room, picks up her cat, and snatched an IOU from her bag. It's clear she'd been ready for this.
サインしたわ。もう出発できるかしら？
問題ないよ。カンちゃん、案内をお願い。
Oh ho ho, remembrance vessel stuff.
おかえり。適当に座って。私たちの仲だし遠慮しないで。
Friends? We've only met once.
私はもう君とは仲良くなれたと思ってたよ。やっぱりこういうことに関して他の私は頼りにならないね。
the other Miis? You have a split personality as well? There is so much plurality going on in this game.
おや、経験があるみたいだね。でも不正解。厳密に言うと、これは私たちの時代ではまだ解明されてない超自然の力だよ。そうだね。確かに複雑だよね。そうだ。まずこういう事実がある。君の目の前にいるビルビーはすでに死んでいる。5万年以上前に死んだんだ。
Isn't that the case with most people in the realm?
ああ、そうだった。ではこう言おう。この体はビルビーという人のものだったけど、彼女の命は超変因子のせいで初めから手術台の上で終結していたんだ。しかし不思議なことに、そんな彼女は融合戦士の力を手に入れた。彼女の半径5メートル以内に近づいた者の意識は彼女の体内に各種され、君が考える人格とやらの一つになるんだ。かなりついてなくて、私も仕事の関係で吸収されてしまったんだけど、最初にその力をコントロールする方法を覚えたから大型ゴミ処理所にならずに済んだの。待って、別に私自身がゴミって言いたいわけじゃないからね。とにかく今まで主導的でもそうでなくても、この体に居座った意識は数えきれないほど多いってわけ。そうだ、この文章は知ってるよね。我が名はレギオン。我らは大勢であるがゆえに。つまりそういうことだよ。
A mantis can do that? What about those who had their minds seized?
その場で死んだ。いや、違うな。他の体の中にいたとしても別に生きてるのと変わらないでしょ。にぎや。
And you can still use this power?
その通り。しかも自由に使える。私の中を訪問したくなったらいつでもいらっしゃい。
Seize. Was that really the case? Interesting. That's not what I wanted to press. Oh no. Seems like a lifetime ago. If you've ever lost consciousness, you'd know. Perception is instant, but our perception of time is painfully slow. At this time, some might hear blood rushing through their veins, the mortal bell knelling for the living. But this girl whose eyes are still shut needs not this moment to be heard. The roaring thunder inside goes on and on.
メイの姉ちゃん、私のせいじゃないよ。何があったかなんて私も知らないから。
A familiar voice.
パルド、別の方法を考えないの？一応こちらには医者が何人もいるし。
今回は前回とは状況が違うもん。それにビルビーの姉ちゃん、判断をしたのはそっちだよ。ごめん、メイの姉ちゃん。本当にごめん。カイドさんになるって言っておきながら、私、カンちゃん、シャベルを持ってきて。
Excuse me?
ああ、カンちゃんは本当にダメだね。自分でやるよ。
They look at each other.
おばけ。
落ち着いてパルド。まだ生きてるわ。気絶しただけよ。別に初めてじゃないから。
メイの姉ちゃん、本当に大丈夫なの？さっき一瞬だけ心臓が完全に止まったんだよ。
ほらパルド、これが起死回生だ。お客さん、気をつけた方がいいよ。またメビウスの研究対象に。
She stopped speaking abruptly. The blade was now against her neck, and the hand that wielded it belonged to May.
ちょっと、メイの姉ちゃん、何をしてるの？
どうして私を招待したの？
言ったでしょ。私も2人の英傑に勝った律者が気になるって。この理由は信じられないの？
例のアポニアとは関係がないのね。
だからおや、全然わからなかったよ。君もそこまで彼女を恨んでるの？安心して、その点において私も君と大して変わらないから。
メイの姉ちゃん。
As May was about to pull the sword away, a force field enveloped Vilvi. No matter how she applied her strength, her sword still hung horizontally in the air.
申し訳ない、すぐに切るよ。ただ座って死を待つわけにはいかない。そうでしょ？
With the snap of Vilvi's fingers, May was pushed back a step and the sword was free to move again.
ほほん。それで一体どういうことなの？メイの姉ちゃんは雷の律者だから自分の心臓に電気ショックを与えて復活したとか？
とぼけないでバルド。こんなに時間が経ったのにまだその悪い癖を直せてないの？アポニアの話をしたし、何か予言を受けたんだろうね。
何を知ってるの？
みんな似たような経験を持ってるからすぐにわかるよ。でもさっきは彼女は君に危害を加えたかったんじゃなくて助けようとしたのかもしれない。私たちの大鳥を覚えてる？螺旋の刻印。
やっぱりあなたが。
まあまあ、人の話を最後まで聞いてよ。本来は私が君を復活させるはずだったんだけど。
それって彼女がいたから私は戻ってこられたってこと？
その通り。時間が来ない限り彼女は予定が先に起こることを許さない。未来が見えるものとして彼女はある意味で私より台本を重視する存在だね。
未来が見える？
おや、お客さんは疑り深いね。でもネタばらしは魔術師にとって禁忌だから先に失礼させてもらうよ。
さっきの声は確かに彼女のものだった。もし彼女が動かなかったらあの予言は。
Lost in thought, she glanced up to see Pardo tiptoeing away.
ああ、メイの姉ちゃん、無事でよかった。間一髪で助かったわけだし、今回は救助費用を取らないでおくよ。じゃあお先。カンちゃん、穴を埋めておいて、くらいに気づかれちゃダメだよ。
穴？
Okay, so, there was like a big, loud bit of thunder a little bit ago. I don't know if my mic picked it up or not. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk sudden loud noises in the recording going forward, so, I'm gonna stop recording for now. Depending on if/when the rain lets up, this video might end up going longer. But it might end up being short like this. We shall see. Whoops, I ended up not getting back to recording this for like a week. Anyways, we've got Remembrance Vessel stuff to do, so I suppose we will get into that. And thankfully it is not raining today. Surprise preview. You're about to witness something very exciting. The true appearance of the fourth divine key is nigh. Don't be stingy with your praise and applause, because this will be... Read the room, Vilvi. This is neither the time nor the place for one of your speeches. Get to the point. Despite the interruption, Vilvi betrayed no signs of displeasure. Right, it seems like everyone is simply dying to see it. Worry not, you'll get what you came for. Do you still remember the world-famous second divine key? Take some time and think back to that moment so that what you're about to see doesn't shock you. You haven't made it an aircraft carrier, have you? No, how cliché. This time, things have gotten a bit more stellar. An artificial satellite was projected onto the meeting room screen. Behold, this is the vessel I've designed for the fourth divine key. It can operate indefinitely in this form. Keep talking. A satellite, and then what? For now, its sole purpose is to periodically orbit us. As for what happens next, to tell the truth, I have no aspirations to arm a space-based weapon. To be frank, its function ought to go beyond that. The next hour passed by slowly. The presentation concluded and the room fell silent. Only Dr. May, remaining calm, called over the staff. She ordered Vilvi's engineering budget cut by 80%. Interesting how her name isn't capitalized there. You said you were seized by this body at work. You were already a member of the Moths?
工事部部長正真正銘のね。英傑の中でも結構早く組織に加入した方だったかな。その過程はあまり喜ばしいものではなかったけど。
Like Kalpus?
少し違うよ。具体的に言うと、私はいくつかの手がかりをもとに火を追うがという謎の組織を発見したんだ。その時の私は予定より先に高等機械動力のコースを終了したから暇つぶしで適当に調べたの。そうしたら意外と収穫がたくさんあったってわけ。
You got the lowdown on the Moths when you were just a student?
メイほどじゃないけど一応は名の知れた天才だからね。それに私の得意分野は彼女よりも潜入調査に向いてたから。私がまだ未熟だった頃は指程度のサイズの無人機を多く連れて養蜂家という称号で旅をしようと考えたこともあったよ。
What happened later?
私は正体を隠した状況のまま自分で作った機械を使い、彼自慢じゃないけど、あの頃はメビウスだって私の前で何度もしくじっていたからね。
I'm not surprised, but the Moths should find out soon enough.
家庭はあまり喜ばしいものではないと言った理由がそれだよ。火を追う側、確かに普通じゃなかった。すぐに影で動き始め、調査を開始したんだ。私も隠れるのをやめて、正体を晒して宣戦したの。長引くシーソーゲームを経て、最終的に一つの組織を前に惜敗という結果で終わった。当然そのせいでうっかり彼らの注意を引いてしまったの。何度も脱獄した後、彼らは特例で私を火を追う側のメンバーにした。
Standing against an organization alone. Was that necessary?
それについては理由は簡単だよ。第二次崩壊は彼らが引き起こしたものだと思ってたんだ。何せあの時事故と偽装された崩壊と火を追う側の関係は切っても切れなかったからね。だから壊さないと気が済まなかったんだ。
Honestly, a reasonable assumption to make, even if it's incorrect. Endowment. The corridor snaked and extended into the distance, as if endless. Countless mirrors packed the floors and walls, creating a labyrinthine sea of mirrors. Inside seemed as though there were a million mimics copying your every move, which was utterly confusing. Perhaps this was the designer's intent. The green-haired girl walked up the spiral staircase, her tiny body seemingly thinner among the shadows. She gazed coldly at the mirrored walls, and Mobius watched back from within the mirrors. The layouts changed again. Every time I visit, it's completely different. I don't get it. Why do you always waste your time on such meaningless things? Because everyone who visits the Helix Craft is our special guest. It's basic hospitality, right, Mobius? Vilvi leaned out from behind a mirror, landing in front of her. How do you like the mirror room I built for you? Mobius could barely contain her surprise. I'm not interested in your innovation. Besides, these dead things have never held any beauty of note. Are my parts ready yet? Here they are. It only took me a day. I spent the rest of the time rebuilding the Helix craft. Excellent. As promised, I'll repay you for the material cost in the labs. Hey, hold on a second. Vilvi raised her hand, holding the parts deliberately out of Mobius's reach. Retracting her hand, Mobius stared blankly at the girl before her. She gave no reaction. She knew doing so would only make Vilvi more excited. What are you doing? Don't be so impatient. I just want to ask you something, and if you sate my curiosity, of course I'll hand them over. She held up the materials to her eyes and peered through them at Mobius. Just like molten glass, the inside is like liquid, and its refractive properties make it good for prosthetic eyes. This is your 16th order. Before that, there were calcified alloys for prosthetic bones, replacement heart pumps. It's incredible, Mobius. What will you use them all for? None of your business. Don't jump to conclusions. If you've got some great innovation planned, I can help. Could you be planning to augment your own body, finally turning experimentation on yourself after honing your craft? Or perhaps you want some new legs to make yourself taller? If so, let me help you. Out of all the moths, I'm your best choice for this. I don't have to answer you. Hand over the parts, Vilvi. Oh yes, speaking of which, I've got another hypothesis. All these random parts don't mean much, but if you put them together, they could form a person. Could it be that you're sick of having to find live samples and you're planning on creating your own source material? Even if it's an android, it's just an empty shell without a soul. Or have you finally mastered soul technology, using someone's soul to... Shh. Vilvi's words dropped off as the Helix craft mirrors suddenly shattered. Thousands of Mobiuses scowled across the scattered shards. Vilvi, put away your curiosity for now. I don't want to have to add such a noisy specimen to our lab. This is not a question you should be asking.
おや、私の一番可愛いお客さんじゃない？ようこそ。でも今日のステージはないよ。
You're the first one I met.
誰かに覚えてもらえるのは嬉しいこと。そうでしょ？私のサプライズは君に印象を残せた？
I prefer not to be surprised.
おや、私の準備は万全じゃなかったようだね。今度こそ失望させないからさ。人の心を震わせられなければ、全ての意味がなくなる。
I see. You were a celebrated performer like Eden before joining the moths.
はい？
I don't know how you seized this body, but you should play a role larger than a magician in the moths.
国主？おや、彼女はそんな風に話したんだね。いいよ。謎にしたままの方が演出的には好ましいと思うんだけど、真相はこうさ。君が目にした全てはマジックではなく魔法なんだよ。私に関しては別に火を追うがの研究員なんかじゃない。強いて言えば研究対象だったかな。
This is the truth?
ではこれも一種の崩壊エネルギーの体現だと言ったら、それなら信じてくれる？君の律者としての力だって似たような存在じゃないの？まあまあいいよ。機会があったらまた君に見せよう。
The darkest. The deep end. Everything is shrouded in endless darkness. Death and cold are eternal motifs here. Two voices that don't belong ring out in the distance. Has the experiment begun yet? The sea nearby was attacked by the Legion Hersher, and Kevin is making preparations. The experiment is about to begin. May was wearing a custom battlesuit that she'd never shown anyone before. The key of blankness. Nobody else would ever recognize this as an experiment. Deploying the untested divine key straight into battle is incredibly bold, Dr. May. bold and you're so confident. I wish I'd known this side of you earlier. We could have gotten up to some fun and really surprised people. This isn't overconfidence. I have plan B. That's why I invited you here, Vilvi. If the key of blankness doesn't work as predicted, you'll have to open the gateway to the deep end. That'll show the Legion Hersher exactly how much weight the darkness of human burial has. An incredible decision. The engineer summoned was stunned, then erupted into exaggerated applause. I have absolutely no doubt that Eponia's deep end can resolve this crisis, but the only good lion is a defanged lion. The reason those prisoners are so compliant is that this is the deep end. I'm no tamer, but if they're all released at once and go and grow used to such freedom, how are you going to get them back in their cells? You can answer that question on your own. Everything you make has a backdoor program for modification and controls. I believe that the deep end is no exception. Oh.
やあ、メイさん。こんなところで徘徊してるなんて迷子になってしまったの？
No, if I only sought inheritance, I'd be gone by now. But before that, I need to know what's hidden in the deep end. It's extremely likely to be an answer I'm seeking.
へえ。ねえ、わざと私にそんなことを話してきたの？それとも君の前にいる人が当時の指針の書建設の担当者だって本当に知らないの？
What?
これで答えが分かったよ。どうやら今度自己紹介をするときは詳しい肩書きも言わないとダメだね。君は工事部を機械開発部のような何かだと思っていた。そうだよね。ほら、また当たった。実際は機械開発よりも建築に関する仕事に使った時間の方がずっと長い。要塞の建造、避難所の建設、当時の大半の人々にとってはそれらの方がずっと大事だからね。
Can I assume you know the most about the deep end?
まず現実と古の楽園は同じじゃないよ。私が何度も脱獄したって話をしたことがあるよね。だから火を追う側が私に任せた最初の仕事は自分でも脱獄できない監獄の建造だった。だからね、太平洋にある島をできるだけ風すら通せない牢屋にしたんだ。確か P21 って名前だったかな。崩壊発生前は一応リゾート地だったし、浜辺には別荘がたくさんあって。おや、どうして周りを見てるのかな。誰かを探してる？
Nothing. Please go on.
私の知ってる指針の書はそれだけだよ。その後はそこに関連する人に会ったよね。私たちは建物を作り、そして建物は私たちを作る。そこを出た人だけを参考にするなら、その後どんな風になったのかは私にも断言できないよ。何を入れたか誰も知らないからね。
Rumors. Tour. No wonder Dr. Mobius always said that every visit to the Helix craft looked a little bit different. So she was just trying to find ways to make up for the cuts to her engineering budget? Is that so? So you rarely see her fumble or blowing up her workshop these days. Since Dr. May lifted the restrictions, she's been reluctant to do that again. Then what about the fifth divine key? Is it really Nirvana, like they say? Shh. He finally raised his head, taking in his surroundings as he muttered in an extremely deep voice. That's just gossip. Listen all you like, but don't spread it. They say the mods are still looking for the perfect candidate, and if they can't find one, they'd rather the fifth divine key never saw the light of day. Let me think. She has so many accomplishments, and I don't know where to begin. What about that fortress that she calls the Gaia Conscience? Obviously that failed. Using the whole planet to build her own fortress? it was doomed to fail from the beginning, just like many of her ideas. It did leave behind lots of ruins, though. Someone that primitive couldn't manage all that either? Hey, there's still no evidence of her existence. Unless we can rope off an area to neutralize any mantis who enters, otherwise nobody would be able to see her, but that'd be impossible. Maybe the original Moth's crew might know something, but, well, you know how hard it is to meet any of those survivors. So, it's been 5 hours of questions already. What do you want from me? 5 hours? Shoot, Dr. Mobius might have... Actually, I just wanted to ask where Vilvi is now. Huh? I'm afraid you'll have to wait a while for that answer. She went out on her own magical tour again to... If I'm not mistaken, the Mu? I still don't know if it's supposed to be Mu or Mu. I keep forgetting. That continent? Oh. Well, this might be cruel, but I feel obligated to remind you that she just set off some 3 hours ago. That's all I get for now. Alright, onward we go in that case. Alright. Griseo first, then Pardo. And Cosma is also here.
色たくさんあるけどまだ足りない。この絵には新しい色が必要。でも
グレッシュ、またここに来たのね。どう？欲しい色は見つかったのかしら？
まだ。ここにはたくさんの色があるけど欲しい色がない。そんな存在しない、まだ作られていない色。
存在しない色？
うん。例えば
The girl in white suddenly stood tiptoe and pressed one finger against the hilt of May's blade.
これなら存在しない色を作れると思う。いろんな赤、いろんな黒、暖かくて冷たくて。
グレッシュ、あなた。
彼女から離れてくれないか、ライデン・メイ。
The youth appeared suddenly, snatching the blade at May's waist from Griseo's hand.
コズマ？
コズマ、私を迎えに来たの？
あ
あ。でもまだ帰りたくない。もう少しここにいたいよ。アトリエにある色は少ない。ここにある色は多いの。だからもう少しここにいたい。ダメ？コズマ。
ライデン・メイ、少し来てもらえないか。あんたと2人で話したいことがある。
それでどういうことなの？
忠告し忘れたかもしれないが、グレーシュと会うときは武器を持ち歩かない方がいい。
それはありえないわ。自分を窮地に追い込む人を相手に私がそうする理由をあなたも理解できると思うけど。
俺の前なら構わないが、グレーシュはあんたのような人と頻繁に会うべきではないんだ。その理由は今のあんたにはまだ早い。いや違う、それは言えない。これじゃケビンに似すぎている。グレーシュはそういうものの影響を受けやすい。刀にある邪気と殺意は彼女を別の何かにするかもしれない。待て、この感じだとさくらに似すぎてしまうだろうか。はあ、まあいい。 適当にきつくない言い方にしよう。
Oh my god.
とにかく俺の言う通りにした方がいい。あんたに害はないはずだ。
Okay, Pardafellis just laying on the table in peak cat fashion.
へへ、メイの姉ちゃん。あ、違う。メイ様、おかえ
メイ様？
り。どうかしたのメイ様。
いえ、待ってパルド。様付けはやめて。なんだか変な感じがするから。
でも、メイの姉ちゃんじゃなかった。メイ様の名前をそのまま呼ぶのもよくないんじゃない？もともとみんなのことを兄ちゃんや姉ちゃんで呼んでるし、メイの姉ちゃん、メイ様のようなピップはやっぱり他の人たちと差をつけないといけないんじゃないかな。安心してメイの姉ちゃんに。メイ様、こういった特別な称号は私のところではメイ様一人だけのものだから。
あなただってその呼び方に慣れていないじゃない。パルド、いつものように呼んでちょうだい。
いやダメだよ。私のような商売人は呼び名をうっかり間違えたりしたら大変なことになるんだから。それはもはや一つの知識みたいなものだよ。他の呼び名はさておき、様や旦那ってつけただけで何度もいいことがあったもん。特にまだ黄昏の町にいた頃は、相手が誰であろうと様や旦那で呼んでたんだ。そうすれば万が一誰かに聞かれてもただ任務の報告をしてただけだと思われる。安心して旦那、例の物全部手に入れておいたよってね。そしてその存在しない旦那を捕まえるため、やぶ蛇にならないように相手は軽率に動けない。何かが違うと気づいた時には私はもうとっくに逃げ切ってるってわけ。
知らなかったわ。昔はそういう生活をしてたのね。黄昏の町。パルド、千号もそこにいたって話をしてたわよね。つまり火を追うがに入る前から二人は知り合いだったの？
そうでもないよ。千号の兄ちゃんのことは火を追うがに入ってから知ったんだ。当時はすごくびっくりしたんだよ。まあ思い返してみれば確かに色々つながるけど、千号の兄ちゃんがあの療養所の運び屋だったなんて誰も思いつかないよ。
療養所？
黄昏の町の療養所。あそこで唯一の療養所でもあるんだ。ご飯すら食べられない人たちがたくさんいた。子供もいれば大人もいたよ。ただしばらくしてあそこは廃墟となったんだ。原因は何だったのかな。火災？それともガス爆発だったっけ？
多分崩壊でしょうね。
ああ、そっちの時代でもそういった理由で崩壊関連の事件をごまかしてきたんだ。それは全然変わってないんだね。
黄昏の町の療養所、崩壊による災害。戦後。待って、まさか彼とさくらはそこで？
どうかしたの？メイのね、メイ様、急に黙り込んで思い詰めた顔をして。
ああ、いいえ。ただ新たな考えを思いついただけだから。
May is connecting dots.
それとパルド、本当にもう様付けで呼ばないで。好きじゃないし変な感じがするの、とっても。
じゃあわかった、メイ様。じゃなかった、メイの姉ちゃん。
Right when she was starting to get used to it, huh? Right, and this is not one that we can skip. Rita and sure, part of Ellis. Eden. And of course my one singular elf. Give me that one. Oh my god. Just tearing through them. So when you can't skip through them, that usually means that there's going to be some story within the gameplay portion itself. Yep, here we go. The Honkai energy they emit is fatal, so I need to stay clear, but if I can draw them into the enemy mob... Watch out for quantum cannon attacks. Valkyrie or enemy attacks can break one layer of quantum shield. What? These are just quantum enemies! Why am I getting a whole tutorial about it? These are just regular quantum enemies. I fought them a million times by now. Hello? I guess it is a little unusual that they're here. So I guess they wanted to draw my attention to that fact. But like, come on! I don't need to be taught how to fight these guys. Alright, I'll take that one, I guess, even though it's not that good. I saw something lit up and just immediately went for it. Alright, yes, Pardofella's shop. What you got for me, Pardo? Honestly, I don't actually need to stop here. We'll just keep going, because I'm lazy, and I don't feel like looking through the shop. Okay, now here's some regular enemies. These guys aren't quantum, so maybe that was nothing. I don't know. I'll take that one. Just blasting right on through this. Literally blasting.
なたのために捧げるわ。
Should I have been using that much earlier? Probably.
あんたに
Does it
与えら
matter? Not really. Oh.
吠えなさい、栗から。一刀両断。
Boom.
昔のオペラにマイクはなく、
More damage.
電線雷鳴の時、行動開始。雷鳴が強風に
Huh.
私に服従しなさい。
What was the point of having me go through this manually?
雷鳴が来る。一刀両断。
Nothing has happened.
この感覚、アポニ
I see.
ア。やっぱりいいでしょう。あなたに会うわ、アポニア。ああ、メイ。よかった。しばらくぶりだけど、新しい傷跡は増えていないようだ。アポニア、以前、待ってください、メイ。
Aponia extended her hand and pointed at her collar.
ここが乱れている。私が直してあげましょう。もっと近くに来てください。
No, there are more important matters. Was the right answer, but for some reason that answer didn't come out. The gentle request, trusted like the words of an oracle.
ええ。
White hands reaching out from the darkness, not making a sound. They would look nicer coming from white cuffs. They didn't look like the type to be pulling strings in the shadows.
ありがとう。大したことではないよ。もし可能であれば、本当はその眉間の疲れと困惑をこの手でなくしたかった。
After fixing May's collar, she returned her hands to her lap.
確かに困惑してるわ。そしてその理由はあなたにあるのよ。ここに来る前、私はある事故に遭遇したんだけど、あなたが私を助けてくれたよね。ええ。しかし私がいなくてもビルビは彼女の大鳥を完成させた。耐えられないと思ったからそうしただけ。紆余曲折の中、あなたにこれ以上の苦しみを経験してほしくなかったから。けどあなたは10日後に私を殺すとそう言ったわね。それならどうして私を助けたの？それはあなたを殺すことは私の本意ではないから。もうすぐあなたもわかるはず。誰かを殺すことは
悪意がなくてもできる。あなたを助けたことと私が未来ですることは矛盾していない。あれは未来の私とあなたの間にある運命。もし選択できるのなら、私だってあなたに首を絞められ、そういう悲しい運命を一人で背負いたかった。
May involuntarily shifted her gaze upwards. There, as white as her hands. Yes, her eyes did not cross the cell's darkness, and yet she still felt she could see the white neck, as though it were in front of her own eyes, as if it were being held tightly in her palms. What would it feel like, holding it tightly?
さあ、メイ。今日はここまでにしましょう。このエリアへの長いは、今のあなたにとって、やはり少し無理がある。次の再会を楽しみにしている。ここは戻ってきたのね。さっきアポニアと話をした時、思考が私自身の言うことを聞かないみたいだった。アポニア、それがあなたの本当の能力なの。
Seems like it. Seems that way. More stuff unlocked?
わあ、すごいわね。
Elysia was pinching something with 3 fingers. She raised her head a little and studied the object to the light.
何してるの？
あ、メイ、ほら見て。こんなに綺麗な宝物なんて、私も初めて見たわ。
May paused a moment and then leaned closer. But before she could catch a glimpse of anything, she heard the girl chuckle. Elysia quickly opened her hand and brushed past the corner of May's eye.
触っちゃったこれが私の綺麗な宝物よ。
Her hand had been empty since the beginning.
エリシア、あなたね、私が避けられなかった。
でも、私の予想通り、あなたもメイクしていないのね。つまり、あの綺麗なアイシャドウも律者の能力なの？生まれ持った美貌の凄さに、さすがの私も羨ましくなっちゃう。
羨ましい？まさかあなた、記憶体なのに、毎日アイラインを引こうとしているの？
この話、メビウスの前では絶対にしないでね。でも、本当に私のメイクした姿を見たいなら、これからも頑張ってね。メイクして登場するなんて、現実の私も1回しかやったことがないの。あの時の私は、本当に綺麗だったわ。
Okay. Players on stage. But Elysia, I just checked your body fat level and it's higher than the last time, so... Alright, why do you have to check this? May didn't leave you here for this. What matters is how you feel rather than the number. You get it? Fine, it might be hard for you, but one day you'll understand, Prometheus. Understand what? Understand why people laugh and why they cry. If you wish to look into the root cause of human emotions, I can help with that. Don't bother, I just came to talk to you. Everyone is at May's meeting, and I'm left alone here. You're experiencing emotional spikes, Elysia. Hey, didn't May tell you not to read someone else's biometrics without permission? And blushing now. But emotional spikes... maybe a little bit. Suspected by good friends and being distanced. Anyone would be upset, right? Actually, I just want someone to talk to. I never thought I'd be hopelessly watching the chasm grow one day. Prometheus, you know it better than me, right? We can't afford another civil war right now. No matter the reason, no matter how it goes, there can only be one outcome. Humanity's self-destruction. Right. But people of our age have been fighting Honkai for too long. They deserve a better ending, right? Prometheus, in your eyes, and from a probability standpoint, how can humanity be united again? The emergence of a more terrible enemy than Hershers, or a more severe threat. Great minds think alike. We're thinking the same thing, Prometheus. An enemy that can force the survivors to set aside their differences and unite together. This is indeed the most effective way, but also the hardest. No one can tell for sure if it brings unity or speedier extinction for humanity. I'd hate to see the world plunge into hell again, but it really comes to that. She took out a pink crystal flower and twisted it between her fingers. It's not bad for the leading actress to play a charming villain for a change.
メイ、まだ私に隠していることがあるのね。ちょっとひどいんじゃないかしら。
え？
ナターシャがいなかったら、あなたがお嬢様だったなんて知らなかったでしょうね。あなたも高価で可愛らしいドレスを着て、優雅にアフタヌーンティーを楽しんだりするの？想像してみるだけでも面白いわね。メイ、エデンに会いに行きましょう。彼女のところには綺麗なドレスもあるし、スイーツやアフタヌーンティーもあるのよ。
がっかりさせてしまうかもしれないけど、そういった経験はないわ。それに、隠し事をしていたことを非難する資格なんてあなたにはないはずよ。
どうして？ここには私以上に正直な人なんていないでしょ？言ってみて。今度は何を知りたいの？
末法型崩壊獣の定義を改めて聞いたの。私の時代にはそんな概念は存在しなかったわ。少なくとも私は聞いたことがない。そして古の楽園でその崩壊獣と関係があるのはあなただけよ。
コズマから聞いたの？専門家のメビウスじゃなくて私に聞きに来るなんてすごく嬉しいわ。
彼女が本当のことを言うとは思えないもの。それなら本当か嘘かわからなくてもあなたに聞いた方がいいはずよ。
後半の言葉は聞かなかったことにしておくわね。でも本当に話すようなことはないのよ。末法とされているのはそこらの崩壊獣では定義できないからなの。ビシュヌのように一番弱い下位の崩壊獣から成長を続けて審判型を超えた存在に普通のランクをつけるなんてふさわしくないでしょ。これもメイが決めたのよ。しかも理論上の末法型崩壊獣は最後になっても3体しか現れなかった。とにかくそれのことは超レアで超すごい崩壊獣因子だと思っておけば大丈夫よ。ビシュヌでさえいろいろあった末にようやく末法型って認められたんだから。
今3体って言ったわよね。他にも末法型がいるの？
それは正確に答えられるのはメビウスだけよ。
Is that so? Invader. Success. The girl took one last look at the screen, and the thumb-sized, miniature, self-propelled robot began remotely transmitting video back to her terminal. Inside, a door slowly began to open. She made the room's lights brighter, turned her eyes to her hands, and quickly looked away. Nail-biting was a bad habit, and she was determined to break it. The door on the screen was now completely opened. She turned her head, feeling a bit confused. This place that even she had spent a lot of time breaking into was an area that everyone had kept secret. Only that green-haired lady's here? So what exactly is Honkai? The organization she had been spying on did everything they could to cover up the series of disasters. What was it all about? The girl had the tiny robot fly off the wall and slowly approach the only human in the area in an attempt to capture the other party's chatter more clearly. Finally got it. You guys are the first. It's unclear. The girl remembered the noise the micro-robot makes when it flies and carefully kept it close to its target. Oh, you're really something. You've already gotten this deep in your investigation. Have I been discovered? She jerked her hand back, causing the robot to lose control and fall from the green-haired woman's collar. No, this voice is clearly... At the same moment the girl reacted, she felt someone's tender body lean against her back. It clearly came from right next to me. The girl lowered her head and let the other person put her jaw on her shoulder. Before things became irreparable, there was still a chance to come up with a plan. Wow! This is the first time even I have seen this. You must have some guts. Or you must really have some guts. So you're the one who's been investigating the moths, then. Vilvi, right? What a cute name. Very fitting. The girl felt her ears begin to itch from the heat emanating as the other person spoke. Yes, I saw the message you sent them yesterday. It took me all day to find you. From what was just said, it seems I've done it. Oh, and your earrings are very pretty. Can you tell me where you got them? Hey, don't sweat it. You've got plenty of time to figure out what to do with me. Until then, let's just chit-chat. Damn. Elysia is truly just one of the characters of all time.
今の時代だけでなく、英傑がいた時代でもあなたはすでに人々のリーダーとして見られていたのよね。あなたが神のように扱われているのは先行者という特殊な存在だからだと最初は思ってたわ。過去からタイムスリップしてきた人みたいに。でも昔も今と同じような状況だったみたいね。
僕は自分ができることをする。
じゃああなたはどう感じているの？あらゆる人に認められ、彼らを導いていくことを。それって想像できないほどの重圧よね。
それは重要なことではない。
確かにそうね。じゃああなたは私の時代でも同じような役割を担うつもりなの？たとえあなたがリーダーとして世界をもう一つの深淵に追いやるとしても。
僕には未来の自分の考えを予知することはできない。だがリーダーとは何らかの資格ではなく一種の必然なんだ。何もせずとも君の時代にもリーダーが現れるはずだ。会っていないのならまだその時ではないというだけだろう。
え？じゃあそんな人が現れたら今度は何が起こるの？もしあなたたちが二人のリーダーが異なる理念を抱いていたら衝突は避けられないんじゃないかしら。
君の言うような衝突は存在しない。真理は人類のもの、過ちは時代のものなんだ。ライデン・メイ、僕が導かなければならないのは時代ではなく人類だ。
Cats. Cat cameo. Oh hey, that's the last one for Kevin. Wish. So cold. The pink-haired girl pushed the white-haired man's shoulders to walk along the corridor. Elysia, I don't think it's necessary. Don't say no, don't say anything, just keep going. The man seemed confused, but the willful girl didn't give him a choice. We have more important things to do, Elysia. Huh? Isn't my party important? New threats may come up at any time, and we have no idea of how the next Hersher would surprise us. All right. The 7th eruption is just over. Can't you cut yourself some slack? Why do you have to push yourself so hard? Kevin, you're growing more and more like May. And I bet you'd be glad to hear that. But, come on, there's no but. Alright, here we are. She pushed Kevin to a door, which was not locked, and nor was it lit inside. She had to do what the girl told him, or he had to do what the girl told him. Finally, he made up his mind and pushed the door open. Happy birthday, Kevin! He was taken aback by the sudden light and voices and nearly rammed into someone hiding behind the door. Kevin, watch out! The girl behind the door cried out, and the cake in her hands almost fell to the floor. May? The girl wearing glasses tilted her head and smiled gently. Elysia draped a woolen rug over her shoulders, and the other people in... I think that should be shrug. Over her shoulders, and the other people in the room came near to welcome the birthday boy. Kevin blinked and blinked. He knew everyone in the room, but they all seemed different today. The first one that caught his attention was the girl with fox ears who wore a gown, a huge contrast to her with her assassin look. She noticed Kevin's attention and returned an innocent, carefree smile. The little girl by her side was using the power of psychokinesis as usual to send the cake and 8 gifts to the table. An odd green box stood out in the I cannot talk. An odd green box stood out in the mix as a representation of the blessings from someone who couldn't show up. They followed funny music. The boy who received 4 harsh lectures from Kevin and burst into tears on his first day in the group. He was playing the harmonica clumsily and trying to find the tune. But very soon, something else drowned out the harmonica sound entirely. A sublime hymn began to echo in Kevin's head. He didn't expect her to show up, and in such a way. And the man who never had a moment's hesitation on the battlefield, he was staring at the cake with a frown, and seemed to have a problem with how the candles were arranged. This day, the future leader of the Moths and the first 7 Mantis soldiers were gathered here for an insignificant reason. I'm turning off the light! With Elysia's joyful voice, the light went out. In the dark, the candle flames were blinking and dancing. Time to blow the candles, Kevin! Don't forget to make a wish! No matter what it is, it will come true. I'll make it so. Elysia, that was supposed to come from May. Huh? Is it so on the script I wrote, Sakura? Elysia, I bet you don't even remember your own script. I wrote it myself. No way I would make a mistake. It must be you have the pre-revision version instead of the final version. Kevin shook his head and laughed. Wow. Wild to imagine Kevin laughing. The twinkling candles lit up his cold body and took him back to the distant past when he laughed like this for the last time. And then, in the pleasant vibe, he bent down and blew all the candles out. Lights went out, and so did the noises. There seemed to be a delicate coordination. Darkness engulfed the world, and the light was never turned on again. Gradually, his eyes became accustomed to the darkness. He saw the transparent glass panel of the hibernation pod and heard the humming of machines. There was nothing else left. The pod went down and into the embrace of darkness and silence. Only a lonely dot of light took his last dream and everyone in the dream far, far away. May, Sakura, Dystopia, Mobius, Cosma, Aponia, Atto, and Elysia. The light went out, along with all the names and the wish he made. Damn, that's sad.
やっぱり見つからないわ。あの時の私は一体どうやって完成させたのかしら。あら、いらしたのね、メイさん。
聞いたことのない歌ね。
それは当然よ。未完成の曲を人に披露するなんてめったにしないから。さっきのも一瞬のインスピレーションを逃さないように
音符を一つ加えてみようと思っただけなの。だけどまだ満足できないわ。
未完成？あなたは楽園の中でも創作を続けているの？
それはもう久しくやっていないわね。この楽譜はとても特別だから、いつまでも心に引っかかったままなのよ。以前の私はこれを完成させたのだけど、今はできないの。
言っている意味がよくわからないわ。エデン、つまり一度は完成させたけれど覚えてないってこと？
これは逝去したある人に捧げるために作った曲なの。でももう何年もの間、ワンフレーズも手を加えられずにいるのよ。メイさん、私が向き合っている時代はもうこれ以上感情的な刺激を与えることはできないの。スーが教えてくれたわ。彼の予知によれば、私は終焉の地から戻ってきた後にこの楽譜を完成させるんですって。ただそれは私の記憶ではないみたい。でも私は自分自身のことを理解できているの。完成した後の曲がどれほど素晴らしいものかも、最後の曲として一瞬しか存在できないことも想像できるわ。
それで思いを馳せていたのね。でもあなたも終焉との戦いに参加していたなんて初耳だわ。
確かに加わってはいたけれど、あなたの想像とは少し違うかもしれないわね。勝敗に関係なく、少なくとも一人くらいは生きている戦士を連れて帰る人がいないといけないでしょ。
Final scene. The cryopods are ready. Mobius shifted her gaze from the display to the people in the room. Understood, replied Hua. Kevin looked around the room. Where's Eden? She is probably outside, suggested Mobius. I'll go get her. Kevin headed toward the door. No, interjected Mobius, I'll do it. Outside the base, a record player was nonchalantly playing a tune, as if it did not know that its era had ended. Eden stood next to it, swirling the wine in her glass and humming along to the old music. I haven't heard this for a long time, commented Mobius. I remember this is a song from your homeland. Doctor, I thought you can't remember any music not made by your devices. Come back, Eden. The cryopods are ready. Staying out here is bad for you. You know this place is sick with radiation. Kevin sent you, didn't he? Well... Then you already know my answer, Doctor. I know. They remained silent for a while. The record came to an abrupt stop, and the sound of applause faded. How strange. Eden sounded wistful. I'm sure this place would be much livelier if Ellie was around. Are you serious? Her screeching would drown out the music. I know you don't like her, but we must admit, many of her remarks turned out to be true. Mobius did not respond. She did not want to continue with this topic. Eden, won't you at least think about it? Doctor, you know me well. I only make thought-out decisions. I understand you, but are you really giving up on the next generation of humans? Eden smiled at Mobius, as if she was a naive and inquisitive child. Doctor, do you know what Alicia once told me? She told me that the people of this era grew up listening to my songs. Doctor, my singing belongs to this era. I belong to this era. This is by no means foolish vanity or cowardly surrender. This is a kind of faith. The next generation should script their own fate and sing their own songs. New stars will certainly rise. The songs of this era will thrive and perish with this era. Eden gave a slight nod to Mobius before drifting away into the wasteland with a smile. Mobius knew their conversation had ended. She was not in the least surprised by Eden's choice. She turned toward the base. The field of golden wheat swayed. Where can the wandering rider call home? She suddenly heard an angelic song coming from behind. In the apocalyptic landscape where only debris and sand remained, it sounded like a gift from the heavens. Mobius looked back in surprise. It was Eden performing her last song to the vast heaven and earth. Strange. Mobius had always thought of her songs as nothing more than glorified noise. Then why did her heart now sting with grief? Was it the power of art? Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, my love, may we never part ways. Oh, my love, may time stay still for us. No, that was not it. Mobius denied it to herself. She assessed the situation from a purely rational perspective. It was because she was watching an era wither away. Before then, the collapse of an era was only an abstract concept to Mobius. It was only people dying out. It was only species becoming extinct. But as she watched Eden disappear into the boundless wasteland, she felt something crumble for the first time. Eden's singing belonged to this era. Eden belonged to this era. Eden was the microcosm of this era. Yet her song wafted closer and closer to death and the end of the world. It was the last time this beautiful voice resounded through the heavens and earth. Oh, my love, may we never part ways. Oh, my love, may time stay still for us. Such heavenly music would never be heard again.
忠告してくれた人がいるけど、それでも私はあなたに2回目のことを聞きたいの。
どうした？ついに死ぬ口実を探すことにしたのか？
歴史の些細な事柄の中にこそ重要な情報は隠されているものよ。だからどんなチャンスも見逃したくないの。それに何よりあなたは英傑の中でも最も特別と言われているんでしょ？
お前は俺と何らかの関係を築きたいのか？俺にそんなことを言うなと忠告したのは誰だ？おしゃべりなやつめ。またエリシアか？
そうよ。彼女のアドバイスを聞くべきかしら？
俺にそれを聞くのか？お前たちも過ちを犯して後悔することに慣れているんだろう。そうだ。あいつと出会った時、俺は2度も全てを奪われた。だがそれがどうした？今に至るまでもはや2度どころじゃない。まだそんな話にこだわる必要があるのか
？2度どころじゃない？私が思っていたのと違ったみたいね。怪物になることに対してあなたは嫌悪感を抱いているようだった。だから2回目というのはあなたが受けた2度の手術のことを指しているのかと思っていたわ。
手術を受けていない俺ならあいつらに怪物扱いされなかったとでも思うのか？ならば律者よ、お前は真相を知りたいのか？真相はこうだ。俺がこの世で見てきた全てがたった一つのことを教えてくれた。失ったものは二度と取り戻せない。時間を無駄にするくらいならさっさと復讐した方がいいだろう。全てに対してな。少なくともお前はまだ過去のツケを清算できる。俺の力を受け入れたければそのことを頭に入れておくんだな。
また独り言が始まったわね。
Sacrificial offering. The devil has tricked people into believing that Earth is between the heaven above and the hell below. But this is a lie. To make it to hell, one must first pass through the whole of heaven. Please stop here, Elysia, or you will fail. which is to say, if we compare the whole world to a cookie or to a sandwich cookie, then heaven is the cream filling, and earth and hell are the soda crackers sandwiching it. How do you like this analogy? Doesn't it aptly capture its bounty? Not quite. Earth and hell aren't the same thing. Whatever, I shouldn't overthink it. After all, this has nothing to do with what I'm doing next. What do you think, Kalpis? The first sound coming from the thick darkness was chains clashing against each other. A man's throaty snicker followed. Heaven. Hell. Will I find my enemies there? Okay, I shouldn't have asked you. Aponia, let's talk it over again. Although there are many difficult conditions attached, the organization has agreed to release Kalpis and enlist him in the cocoon. I fought really hard for this outcome. So, my darling Aponia, you'll lend me a hand, right? Lying is sinning, Elysia. You deceived the others by saying that I had restrained him and used it as a bargaining chip to achieve your goals. Well, that's the art of negotiation for you. This is actually why I came to see you. Honestly, I don't think reversing the order constitutes lying. I don't want to judge your standards, Elysia. I don't want you to take him away because I don't want his sins to contaminate you. He's a lamb that came to earth from hell, a burnt offering for God. He sinned strongly by fleeing to this place. He must not leave this prison until he has been purified. Aponia, you're being weird again. However, if you just want to keep him in this prison, we can both compromise. Use your discipline. Use that magical power to make him carry this prison. This is what I came to see you for. With a smile, the girl waltzed to the man in a deliberately unwitting manner. Facing the other way, her nimble fingers tweaked out a crystalline rose, as if she needed illumination. But that was not the case. She knew she could use it to shield Kalpis from restraint, thus fooling the discipliner. Unfortunately, it did not work. Deceiving is also sinning. Elysia, you don't have to go to such lengths. If you insist on leaving Earth for hell, if this is indeed the path you've chosen, then I won't stop you from taking it. Take him with you, Elysia, and never let him come back. Huh? But you haven't... I knew you'd return to the deep end for that, so I had already restrained him with my discipline. Wow, that never occurred to me, Aponia. Guess we can think alike after all.
Ritsha, 今度は何を聞いたんだ?
別に。ただ偶然、毒药が消えた後に、それに関係する囚人が釈放されたらしいってことを聞いただけよ。その人について、いくつか思い当たる節があるの。
お前は本当に推測が好きだな。
以前、ある男の子に会ったの。いや、少年と言うべきかもしれないわね。彼も毒药のメンバーが持つ独特なオーラを。
あいつか。確かに大したやつだった。毒藥にも合っていたしな。あいつがなりたがっていたヒーローは存在しないわけじゃない。ただ、死人でなければなれなかっただけだ。
彼のことをかなり買っているみたいね。
あいつは人から好かれていたからな。
本気で言ってるの？
あいつが手に入れた本能は面白かった。俺を飲み込もうとする衝動は暇つぶしにちょうどよかったくらいだ。あいつ自身はそんなことがあった事実すら知らないだろうがな。いずれにせよ、俺にはどうでもいいことだ。あいつは潰れた後も、俺を本気にさせてみせた。
確かに、千号が気に入る人なんて、どこかしら変わっているんでしょうね。でも、あなたを飲み込むってどういうこと？
コズマが飲み込めるのは崩壊獣だけじゃないってこと？戦後まさか。
何をバカなことを言っている。俺があっさりやられるような怪物だとでも思っているのか。実際に起こっていないのだから俺にわかるわけないだろう。だがあいつが捨て駒になった理由は決してないわけじゃない。意味はわかるな、律者。
Deputy. Calpus, only if he was... if only he was as obedient as you once were. How many times has he broken out of prison so far? 40? Or even 50? How about it, Calpus? Want me to find out who's behind him for you? There's quite a few that want you out of the picture, but it shouldn't take long to go over them. No, I already know who it is. Huh? You do? Wait, Calpus, have you... He's still alive. Whew, that's a relief. If this is the worst comeback he can make, I'll turn a blind eye to him for now. Say, Calpus, there must be a reason other than paying the prisoner a visit for you to call me over. No, I want him to join the cocoon as my adjutant. What? Calpus, have you lost your mind? Every time he's jailed, it's for attempting to assassinate you, and it's been this many times. The man tapped on his mask a few times, as if searching for a suitable answer. He finally found one that barely convinced himself. I think it'd be fun. Calpus, if you don't... I don't mind you talking like me, but can't you start somewhere that's cuter and more harmless? Fine, fine. Not many people apply for your adjutant. If he still refuses to give up assassinating you, maybe he'll hold that position for a longer time. After all, you're the same kind of people. Persistent, but don't know what for. Hey, don't take that personally. It was just a joke. But you're technically right. If he were to become your adjutant, I can imagine the excitement it'd create. One second he's reporting to you with documents in his hand. The next second he draws a dagger from nowhere to stab you in the chest. Or when he makes your tea, he always takes the opportunity to test which poison is the most undetectable to add. Or, Calpus, you'll live the exciting life you've always dreamed of. I never read documents, Elysia. Aw, that was just an example. Don't take it so literally. But then again, how do you plan to persuade the organization into releasing him? To be honest, this, is he called Emil? He's too weak to join the cocoon. But since you're bent on doing it, I believe you've found a way to persuade them, right? The man stared at the pink-haired girl before him in silence, as if the answer was written on her face. The two stared at each other until the girl felt something click. Hello? I'm being yelled at. Hey, no way, Calpus. Don't tell me this is why you asked me to come with you. Damn. Oh my god, there are so many! What the heck? Where did they all come from? I noticed some sort of open wound on you, but is this possible in a space fabricated by consciousness?
これは傷口ではないよ、来訪者。ミスを許さないビーコンなんだ。
Is that about this? A beacon?
君も知っているように、僕は第二の神の鍵を通して豪華者数の世界を観測した。一人の人間にとって、それはやはり無理のある任務だ。
You mean you could get lost in other worlds?
その通りだ。今後僕がそれに麻痺してしまうかどうかわからない。けど、僕の知っている過去では、観測を行うたびに心がボロボロになる可能性があった。まるで深海を コップ一つで測ろうとするみたいにね。どんな世界でも同じ結末を持つあの人が第六の神の鍵を使って僕の腕にこのビーコンを残したんだ。分解と創生の力も一緒に残され、癒されることも悪化することもない傷口となった。
A person who had the same ending in every world.
僕が何を見て何を経験したとしても、その痛みは僕が誰であるのか、どんな責任を背負っているかを教えてくれるんだ。
But there are other ways to achieve the same effect.
いいや、だからこそミスが許されなくなるんだ。ビーコンであると同時に、これは自分自身に打った本手なんだよ。ここまで話したし、君に笑われても構わないさ。来訪者、深淵を覗くとき、深淵もまたこちらを覗いている。無料の世界を観測する者は僕一人だけではないんだ。以前もう一人の僕が僕の観測を感知したからね。
Feel? How's that possible?
無限の可能性の中ではどんなことが起きてもおかしくはないよ。その世界の僕は女性だったけど大悪人でね。僕よりも優れた精神力で地球を丸ごと騙す幻覚を作ったんだ。
Huh. Sounds hot. I want to see her.
そして彼女も第二の神の鍵を使って自身の影響力をより広い場所へと広めようとしていた。
What happened?
彼女は時間をかけて僕を追跡した。彼女から逃げる過程はかなり危険だったんだ。もしかしたら今でも僕を探すために彼女はあの海面を徘徊しているかもしれない。もし彼女が成功していたら、
There's a cat playing with her toys in the background now.
僕で
I
はなかったかも
apologize.
しれない。そんな時に第六の神の鍵の所有者はこの傷口を広げ、僕を完全に潰すことができるんだ。
I see. This is what an anchor means. Sue, what if you had the abyss flower at that time?
そんなことはない。人手不足になってやむを得ない場面になったとしても、それは他の英傑に渡される。ただ
Unless?
いいんだ。それは不可能なことだから。
No, unless what? Oh god, I'm gonna run out of these. Sanctuary in the shadow. Sounds like you aren't getting along. Ah, right. Sakura, Kalpis, they prefer to work alone. Teaming up with them must be hard for you, Sue. The woman raised the golden goblet and shook the amber-colored wine within. Better not dwell on it. Want a sip? I don't drink, Eden. Ah, I almost forgot. But you always take that empty flask with you. Believe me, Sue, for the mission this time, alcohol can be your friend, especially in such an uncomfortable place. Surrounding them was nothing but boundless darkness, and the lamp over their heads was the only source of light. In the overwhelming darkness, the light seemed pale and weak. I've been meaning to ask this, Eden. The mission brief says it's just a regular recon mission, and it's weird that it requires 3 Mantis soldiers. I believe the real purpose is to enhance our teamwork in the new squad of 3. But before the mission starts, we were asked to stand by at the deep end. What are we waiting for? The answer is simple, Sue, and you've said it yourself. We're building a team of 3. That's why I can't jump to conclusions. The mission shouldn't be hard, but before meeting our new teammate, you've drunk a few cups to calm yourself down, which is untypical of you at all. It's indeed untypical of me. But, Sue, compared to the usual you, you also seem different today. different? Sue suddenly realized something. He seemed to feel a much stronger urge of curiosity and thirst for knowledge than usual. Clearly, he was under psychic influence. But how could this happen on a psychic mantis? Sue didn't realize the usual thirst for knowledge was a natural reaction of humans before witnessing something divine. Rhythmic footsteps approached them from the darkness along with the crisp clanks of shackles. Sue finally remembered the myths about the deep end and the one who stood out the most there. Europonia? That's me, a soft female voice answered. Meanwhile, a sublime and heavenly tune began to sound in Sue and Eden's heads. It was gentle and soothing, but the two fought it with all their spiritual strength. Sorry, Sue. I think our mission is not about teamwork. Maybe the more important thing is to evaluate the possibility of her joining the fight.
そういえば、あなたは何度もリンクによって他人の体を操り、戦闘を行ってきたのよね。そしてその多くは戦局に大きな影響をもたらしてきた。
精神感知型にとってそれはただ、いや、僕が軽率だったね、来訪者。確かにそれは僕にしかできないことだった。
今何か言いかけたみたいだけど、言えない事情でもあるの？
そうでもない。多くの精神感知型は確かに簡単にリンクできるけど、だからといって戦場に影響を与えられるわけではないんだ。体を操ることは簡単だけど、力を使いこなすのはかなり難しい。体の持ち主の戦い方からその些細な癖まで見落としは許されない。
それは気候に乗るみたいに？
もっと複雑だと思うよ。僕は戦闘が得意なわけではない。戦士たちに対する理解、そして因果輪廻による見識がなかったら僕でもできないと思う。
因果輪廻？
あ、関連する実験を通して僕は仲間の能力を理解できたんだ。予見した一部の未来は僕が仲間と対峙する方法を無意識に考えるきっかけにもなった。だからこういう取るに足らない能力でも多くの偶然が重なってようやくできることなんだ。
いいえ、一部の場面ではかなり影響力がある力だと思うわ。
そういう状況自体が珍しいよ。使用する前に僕は相手の許可を得るようにしているけど、意識の深部を他人に見せる仲間はなかなかいなかったからね。それに約束の惨劇でアポニアが残した種を割ってから僕はその能力を使わなくなった。
Wait, what's that mean? Oh god, I'm almost out. Body. Eyes open. The situation at hand couldn't afford him any hesitation. The dark green serpent still held its head high in the shadow, and he was badly wounded. Not far away near the lab entrance, Hua was lying on the ground unconscious. If left unchecked, the serpent would claim many more lives. He had to stop it right there no matter the cost. Sue told himself that. Ha 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 ha! The serpent's laughter was harsh and cold. That was Mobius's voice, but without her consciousness. What was left was a mindless Honkai beast following the natural instinct to devour everything in its sight. The Karma Wheel's domain was still effective, and to stop Mobius he had to delve deeper into her spiritual space and connect to her unconscious mind. He had to fully remove the shackles on Mahamayuri. I don't know if I pronounced that right. What he had previously been trying hard to keep, and he knew the risk it involved. but the situation didn't give him any choice. Sue took a deep breath and closed his eyes. His mind kept falling into the bottomless abyss. The infinite loop rendered time ineffective. Then he saw. Before his eyes was a swamp in dense smoke, and at the center of the swamp stood a dead tree, where Mobius was surrounded by twisted branches. This is Mobius's unconscious mind? In the white lab coat, Mobius looked much older than in reality, and the strange patterns on her arms were not to be found. Somehow, Sue believed this was the human Mobius before receiving the surgery, though he had never seen her before the surgery. Sue threw himself into the swamp and struggled to move forward as an ocean of memory pieces, screeches, and wails flooded into his head through the black mud in contact. Prying into someone else's mind was never his intention, and it was one of his personal principles not to invade any consciousness without consent, despite being laughed at by Mobius over and over again. Sue finally approached the dead tree, and the black mud was about to drown him. He labored to lift his arm and got hold of a corner of Mobius's dress. At that moment, a familiar short-haired figure emerged in his mind. Klein? Mobius, I knew you... Of course, at the root of the dead tree was the most cherished thing in her heart. Darkness came from every side, shrouding, devouring, and shredding him. I have to stop her here. I have to suppress Mobius before my strength runs out. I must find a way. Snap! The sound of a thread torn apart was deafening in Sue's ears. Yeah, for a mantis, it was the easiest and most natural step to make. So easy that he had to suppress it with all his reason and human side. So easy that, with the tiniest slip, he would involuntarily reach his hand out for that power, and take the forbidden step towards active Honkai reaction. After that, he sank into the swamp. His last memory was the scream of the serpent, the jade green feathers, and a clear bird chirp. I need more of these. Oh my god, there's so many of those to do. Okay, I'm probably gonna wrap this one up here then. And, do these, and I think that'll get me some of this stuff, maybe? I don't know. Oh wait, I can do regular deep sequence, too. Okay. Yeah, I'll wrap this up now, farm some more of these, so that I'm ready to go for next time. So, I will see you all next time.